What do you do when you don't know what to do? Or what do you do when there's lots of good options and you're just confused about which one is the best? Or what do you do when the circumstances in your life are just not making sense and you can't figure out what's going on? As a human being, you're always going to be in those situations where the circumstances aren't clear, where there's a lot of good choices and you're not sure which one to make, or maybe there's just some confusion around what to do next. So, what should you do? Well, the scripture is very clear that God is a God of peace, not of chaos. And so, anytime your life is confused by chaos, or anytime you are confused about a situation, anytime you can't make sense of your circumstances, remember that your God is not a confusing God. Your God does not cause chaos, He brings peace. And so anytime there is a circumstance or a decision or just an issue in your life that is surrounded by chaos, remember that is not from God, but the answer is to turn to God. So in my life, what I've noticed is when I'm in those difficult situations, confusing times, not sure what to do, I can't make sense of my circumstances, what I've noticed is I am so busy trying to figure it out on my own that I have limited the voice of God. And this is something, this is a trap we can fall into very, very easily. We can think and we can study and we can learn and we can ponder and we can rely on our past experiences and we can rely on our own thinking. And sometimes, in fact, more often than not, our own limited thinking gets in the way of listening to the voice of God. You see, you have circumstances in your life, but you can only see a very narrow portion of them. God sees it all from beginning to end. I heard a story about a man who used to go to the Macy's Day Parade in New York City, and he used to stand on the street and watch the parade go by. And as a kid, it was a fabulous thing to see each individual float going by one at a time. But as an older man, he was invited up on the top of one of the big buildings, and he could see the parade from beginning to end. He could see the whole thing, and his perspective totally changed because of his view. So you don't have the full parade view of your life. You just have the street view. You have the moment by moment, circumstance by circumstance view. And so it's very limited. You don't know what's coming next, but God does. He sees it all. I love this scripture from Psalm 77:19. It's part of a song, but there's so much truth in it. The lyric to the song goes like this. Your road, talking about God, your road led through the sea, your pathway through the mighty waters, a pathway no one knew was there. Now it's obviously talking about the time when Moses and the people of Israel were being attacked and chased by Pharaoh and his army, and God opened up the sea and they were able to walk through on dry land. Nobody knew that was going to happen. They were surrounded, they were confused, their circumstances were telling them something that they did not understand, and yet God made a way. But they were willing to listen to God's voice. So today, if you find yourself in a situation or surrounded by circumstances and you don't know what to do, you're confused, trying to make a decision, but you just can't figure it out, it's okay. Here's some advice for you. Take a deep breath, relax, and just say, God, you're the God of peace, not confusion, and I'm confused. Help me to know what the best thing to do is. It's so simple, but sometimes we lose the simple things in our life trying to figure out the difficult things. God made a way where there was no way. God made a way where no human being could see it. He can do the same thing in your circumstances. He can make a way. He can lead you to a path that you never even thought was there. But you might have to quiet your mind, stop trying to figure out on your own, and just commit. I'm not going to make a decision until I hear from God on this. Those ideas, those thoughts that run through your brain, they might be limiting the voice of God. So be committed to hearing His voice. Be committed to staying where you are until you clearly hear Him, until you clearly see Him move and lead you to a way that you didn't even know was there. See you later.